Yeah, I stopped it. For some reason, I was having trouble with it automatically playing the clips that it was supposed to play. I don't know. Again, Evie Mux has changed some things recently. So, what's up, everybody?
What's up?
What'd you say? You got rated from Ember?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, let's
I
go.
got Ember read.
Well, hey, what's up, everybody from Ember's channel? Today, Seth is here. So
Seth is here. How are y'all?
Yeah, wrong way. It's mirrored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Glad to
confuses
be
the
here,
shit
man.
out of me all the time too. What's
I
up,
appreciate
Seth?
the invite. Not much, dude.
So we've actually met each other, right, man? Like
we have.
We've sat and hung out and talked the deepest philosophical conversations about video games and how they cannot objectively be good.
Correct.
Right. And that's a little joke because Will's watching right now, I'm pretty sure. So that's a little.
What's up, Will?
Taking a jab at him real quick. Yeah. So, how you been doing since the art protest, man? Things going getting better, I see.
Yeah, since the art protest, it's been wild. That feels like a lifetime ago. But I'm finally back up in the Carolinas with my family. I've got some stability in my life, so things are going well. The channel, by the way, if you don't know, my channel is Ambushed Apostate. I basically talk about my deconstruction process and my leaving independent fundamentalism, Christian nationalism, things like that. So on that front, things are going well. So I'm excited about some new content. Lil and I have a show that premieres tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of cool things going on.
We will get into your show. We're gonna wait a little bit until things pick up, and so I'm not just ignoring that you said that.
Right.
But all right. So also we got the always giggly Lil as usual. What's up, Lil? And those of you in the audience that didn't notice that she's not wearing glasses, you're all going to fucking hell.
I found my contacts.
Okay.
So now there's no like crazy glare.
We just got demonetized. They demonetize all these anyway. Usually, it's not good. But anyway, yeah. So you got contacts. How you liking that? Are you used to them
I love
yet?
contacts. No, I've worn them for years. I thought that I was out, and I wasn't because glasses are just easier most of the time, and I was getting really tired of the glare. So I was just like, okay, let me go find my contacts. So
right on. All right, right on. Well, what's up, everybody in chat? I see a bunch of our friends out there, more than I'm going to name today, but I see Bree and Antjer and Skeptic Philosophy at the moment. So this is kind of a political show, and although we do know Seth from the atheist community or whatever, we're going to have a political conversation about Christian nationalism, and my interest in this conversation is to figure out how someone who walks away from Christian nationalism individually then is in a position to where you still have to function within a Christian nationalist community for the most part, and how you explain to those people that you no longer agree with that position. So that's kind of where I'm aiming it at. I don't expect you to give me a big in-depth assessment of the thing. Just your experience is
we'll
what
talk
I'm looking
about
for.
that for sure.
So does that make sense? What I'm getting at? Because there's I have a theory, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
From what sounds like you're asking, leaving a group after you have, I guess, left those ideas and interacting. Is that what you're saying? Interacting as you're still in it and don't believe it?
No. After you have decided that you're no longer going to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. Being in a place that I don't know why my light just got so much brighter, but okay. It was Jesus got me for all the cuss words, I think.
If he's watching, he loves to watch, by the way.
He's trying to come in my heart. the the I threw myself off there. I wasn't prepared for that one.
We were talking about Christian,
Okay, so after you've left that, you're still going to encounter people of that persuasion, right?
Oh, sure.
Just like for me, even though like I'm, left of what most Democrats are and an atheist, I'm surrounded by creationists and Trump supporters.
Sure.
So I'm interested in somebody else's take on how you interact with those people and have conversations on a daily basis, that some that are and aren't about that particular subject, and because you're not changing people's minds, I don't imagine. It's hard to get yeah.
Well, for me personally, I've still got family that are in that kind of a mindset. So yeah, navigating that is definitely a challenge, and we can get into some of that stuff whenever you want to. I know we've got some clips to watch too, so whatever you want to do is fine.
Okay. Yeah. No, and the political stuff, we've just got a few minutes of that today, and so I might even just like kind of sparse them throughout the stream.
Sure.
That way, no matter when somebody's coming to hang out or whatever, they get a little bit of both. So
I'm an open book, man. Ask away.
Okay, so you don't care that I share things that you've told me about your history, right? Like
no, if you happen to remember names, just don't use names. But yeah,
you said this publicly though, that you were raised with some of Kent Hovind's stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So a very creationist community type thing, and religious and very right wing political, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The Republicans were the party of God. You know? And everybody else was wicked. It's pretty simple for us.
Yeah. Whereas I was raised among creationists too, you were raised among like more Southern creationists, which is a totally different ball game, because it's not just a religion; it's a political position.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like so how about what time did you like what first made you skeptical of that? I'm not good with words.
So no, you're good. So there was a lot of cognitive dissonance for me when I was still in the group, because we were planning for basically war with an Obama government. We were told constantly, they're coming for Christians any 3 minutes. Not today, but definitely tomorrow. So we got to prepare. And I was also a law enforcement officer at the same time. So I was dealing with sort of this pressure cooker of holding these two conflicting ideas, because here I am, a patrol cop on one hand and planning to shoot cops if necessary, if they come for us, on the other. So there was a lot of cognitive dissonance that was building up. But what really tipped me to tip the scales really for my deconstruction was actually like guilt tripping and shaming for not being a good enough Christian. But as far as the Christian nationalist aspect of it, I started seeing cracks in that before I actually deconstructed. It's a weird thing to be so neck deep in a Christian nationalist group that has sort of a compound, and where you've got medical supplies and food and weapons and plans, and then trying to navigate your way out, being stuck in that type of a situation. So it was pretty crazy.
It was very cult-like, right? Like,
110% cult. Yes.
Yeah. You could I would say, yeah, it was a cult. It was just not called that because it's fascist ideology, I guess. I don't know.
High control religious group. We'll go with that.
Yeah. The people who are part of that cult are most of the community that you live around, right? Like people you run into at the gas station and the grocery store and things like that are people that were part of this.
Well, for me, it was more so it was people that I'd had in my life for a long time. When you've got a high control group like this and it kind of starts sucking people in, a lot of times your whole friend group will get sucked in. So I had friends there, I've got family there. So it was more so than just, bumping into people and having to interact, publicly. These are, blood family and married family and friends I'd had since I was a little kid. So yeah, there's a lot of, how do I navigate this with any of these people, if at all? Because there's a lot of,
sorry.
Go ahead. No,
you're talking to these people all day, every day, people that are within it, right? Like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was driving at.
Yeah.
So your family, your friends, everybody you associate with in public, because that's the group that you've kind of, it's a cult, right? I mean,
right.
That's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
So did you ever question like people who should have known within this cult that you were doubting their positions, or when you disagreed with them? Was there like a confrontational part of this that happened, or
well, for a little context, the leader of the group I left was my former father-in-law. So when I disagreed with the pastor, I'm also disagreeing with the father-in-law. So they knew when I started slipping, I guess you'd say, when I started the deconstruction process, and there was a lot of there were some conversations that got a little heated, but their stance was, all right, he's gone, he's an apostate, and we have to cut him off, period. So once I was sort of found out, so to speak, there was no more communication. That was cut off. I had friends call me that I'd known for years, hadn't spoken to him to this day, spent years in court trying to get access to my kids. All of that came from, all right, he is now an official apostate. He's public about it. He's done. So there was also an aspect of, after the fact, this excommunication thing where you see someone you knew from the group in public and they don't look your way, like they never knew you. So that was, an added layer of dealing with all this.
Yeah, sorry. My attention was elsewhere. I can listen and read at the same time, though. I've done
yes, you can, Joe.
Right. So it it's a very militant like thing, though. Like it's not it's not taken lightly at all. So once though you're, because like, especially when there's religion involved, once you step outside of one of those groups and you've especially said anything publicly against them, like do you try to not interact with people that are like that now, or is it just part of everyday life you got to deal with?
It sort of is. I'd prefer not to, right? I'd prefer for this toxic mindset not to exist. But, I think part of being sort of in this sphere and dealing with people online, and, I think we're always sort of exposed to it when you're in this particular group of people. But I don't actively seek out conversations or, debates with these people in person where I'm at now, especially since I've still got 5 kids that are sort of caught in the middle of a family who is involved in this, and then me, right? My stance now is peace. I'm not going to change her family's mind, and all I can do now is try to provide a peaceful environment for the kids to see, hey, dad is different than he used to be, and here's the reasons. I don't know. I think for me, I'm focused on more keeping the peace instead of fighting with them, because there's no arguing with these people. I don't think I'm going to change their minds. So at least in person, I'm trying to be passive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I agree. I try to just, I don't care to ever state my position whenever because this is my life too, right? Like I do the same thing. Go for it. Yeah.
No, you're good. I was just shouting Kelly out.
Okay.
Much love to Kelly. No, I feel like my fight is online. I feel like my fight is through things like this Candle in the Chaos project, where I can take some time and talk about these topics without having to do it in person. And then you've got the emotional side, and you've got the defensive side that kind of eliminates. So yeah, I just view it as a different type of fight.
Right. All right. So you and Lil are your first show comes out tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So you and Lil are working on that together, and Lil has already published like an outtakes thing. Go over and check that out, everybody. I don't have a link for it, or I would do that. But anyway, so are you and you're going to make this show once a week? Sorry, I'm lost.
Oh, I don't know. We were talking about that. It's probably not going to be once a week because of my work schedule and the fact that I'm still trying to do other content as well. So that's still up in the air. But basically, we wanted to come together because of her background and being, are we saying political analyst, Lil? Is that correct?
Something like that.
And then me coming from a Christian nationalist background from the age of 15 to 30, and us being able to kind of bounce our experiences off each other and our different perspectives, I think is going to be an interesting blend on the topic of Christian nationalism. So
yeah,
super excited.
I should have. Well, Lil, did you bring a clip of the show to show people today? You didn't.
I forgot.
You forgot your glasses too, didn't you?
I am so
In
sorry.
fairness, let me say this: there is not a clip available. Like, I was going to make it, and I worked and did not do it. So I'll take some of the blame for that too. But it will be live at some point tomorrow on my channel.
So listen, when I first started making videos, I had to, watch the material, make the clips, and do all the audio and the video, which I wasn't in those videos. It was just like meme things and videos and stuff clipped together and me talking over it. Doing a video a week was horrible. So like, I get it. It was. I would have to spend like at least a couple nights up half the night, working on editing or fixing some stupid little problem that takes 2 hours to fix, and the rest of it's easy,
Yeah. Or you export the clip and then you realize there was some transition that was missing. You have to redo it. Yeah. I've been there, done it, man. I feel you on that. That's the crazy part is none of us are full timers. Not really, not in my immediate circle, at least. And so we're all doing the best we can while juggling the rest of life. So, it is what it is.
My computer takes like an hour to render a 10-minute clip. So if I do a whole shit ton of editing to something, it takes like 6 and 8 hours to render a 20-minute video. So I feel you. So when I say these things, I'm joking in kind. I'm not making fun.
I know you are. It's all good, Joe. It's all love, brother.
I speak of it from experience, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let me get a drink.
Lil, how are you? You've been quiet.
I'm just listening. I'm fantastic.
That's I was getting ready to say. Maybe I should let Lil talk for a minute. Go ahead. See, the trolling continues.
No pressure.
It doesn't. It doesn't stop just because the show started.
Yeah. We do have on the show that comes out tomorrow. We do have a really good conversation. It's on what we're trying to do is cover like a specific aspect of politics and Christian nationalism. So like this first episode is all separation of church and state and how that's not a thing, or how it's not a thing in the Constitution, but it is with, it is like through the Supreme Court and all that stuff. But Christian nationalists are like, no, let's just do away with that. And they'll straight up lie about what the founding fathers said.
Yeah, and the first episode's about the importance of separation of church and state and what happens and what we're seeing happen right now because of that erosion and because of that not being respected. Yeah, it's a great conversation, and the goal really is just to get people who are still in it to think just a little bit, little bit of thinking. So
yeah. So that I agree with probably your assessment of things. We've talked quite a bit, and you like were a huge help at the ARC protest, and was really into doing that thing, and I do appreciate your help. It was so stupid fucking hot that day, man.
Dude, it was horrible.
I
got to meet Joe, and I was starstruck for a second, and then we both worked our asses off for hours, and it was over. That's pretty much how it went down. Yeah. And for the record, he worked harder than anybody else out there that day.
Yeah, that's not true.
To be clear.
I directed is what I did. But, well, I mean, when I've got 3 or 4 people that are like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah. It was a group effort.
I think that's kind of, most of the stuff I did that day was running. And I started running early that morning, and we ran till after dark, getting everything back put up where it was supposed to be and everything. Yeah. We had to go rent a moving truck in the middle of it. And so
wild.
I haven't told the story about why that happened. And I don't know. Maybe I'll tell it to you off screen first, and then we'll see.
Oh, I know. You talking about to me?
Yeah.
Because you told me that night what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we smoked a lot of weed that night.
There was weed consumed, yes. What's up, Dade Murphy?
Hey.
Yeah, Dade was there too. Dade ended up giving a little impromptu speech. That was awesome. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with talking about it, because sometimes things come out through conversation that you don't remember just rattling it off in a list of facts, right?
Right.
So even though you're not trying to be confrontational within the community, I imagine among like family and stuff, you still have like Trump supporters in your family.
Yeah, on both sides. And I will say that I have been learning a lot recently about how to communicate with people, because my approach in the beginning was, basically WTF is wrong with you guys? Are you so stupid that you can't see through all this? And that is not the approach. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. It damages your relationships with everybody you're trying to communicate with, and that's the wrong play. And so for now, again, going into like the peaceful side of things, I don't want it to get to a toxic place, because this specific topic, especially down here in the Carolinas, in deep MAGA country, so to speak, is very, triggering to some people, and it's just not a productive conversation to attack with, to go on the offensive. And I learned that the hard way. So I'll say I've learned a lot on how to not approach people with this topic. I've hurt feelings of people that I've had to apologize for. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. But for me, I have just accepted I have to interact with these people. This is where I live. And in this area, a lot of people are still in this mindset. So it's an interesting environment that I'm in. I'll say that.
All right. Well, like I asked these questions based on my own experience. Like I told you before we did this, I had no plan as far as like how this was going to go. Just I was going to ask some questions and we would talk about this.
We're doing it live.
Okay, so when I asked that question, that would have been almost a copy and paste of my response to that question. Mm-hmm. So like I was. That's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at anything you said. I was laughing at the similarity. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I mean that's even the case here, because there's some people who are conservative, were Trumpers up until somewhat recently. That it's one of those things that we have to kind of ignore the politics and ignore the religious aspect to keep a relationship at all, because otherwise it would just be constant fighting. And
Well, me and my sister have actually come to sort of an understanding. We don't discuss politics or religion because every single time we do it, it cuts into my time with my niece and nephew and my sister, and it turns bad, and there's an argument, and it's just not worth it. So, because again, I know I'm not going to change her mind. She's set in her ways, and she believes what she believes. So it's like, all right, from the humanistic side of this, how do I salvage a relationship?
So, do you have anyone that you enjoy to disagree with? Someone that you argue with, like that you and them always sit down and have these arguments? Because I feel like there has to be somebody like that around.
I mean, in real life, not really. There's a couple people I work with who
damn it.
are super big Trump supporters, and so I've had some conversations recently with a guy who he's a trip, man. I mean, he is just the walking, talking meme of a Trump supporter, and so that's kind of wild. But I try to engage as many people as I can about this topic or the religious deconstruction stuff or whatever the case, because I like to have conversations. Like, I want to try to pick people's brains, figure out where they're coming from. I'll see a lot of similarities in their speech and their thought process and go, okay, I was here too. I made it out. Let's just keep this conversation going and let this kind of, let them chew on this idea for a while. I like that kind of stuff. So respectfully and in a way that's not going to be confrontational and go sideways, I will have as many conversations as I can about this stuff.
Yeah. There's a guy down the road here for me that I used to go and me and his sons and all of his nephews, which he had a whole bunch of nephews, we all grew up and went to school together, right? So, and I had known him most of my life. So, he lives just right down the road. So I would stop and we would end up arguing about Trump and whatever, like back. This goes back to before Trump was elected the first time. And it would always end with us yelling at each other, but not mad. Like we just walked away. Like we just walked away from it eventually. And I would be like, "Damn, that dude's crazy," and I'm sure he thought the same about me.
Yeah. Well, and it goes back to, at this point, our approach. You were talking about on your member stream yesterday, you're talking about street epistemology. I think that came up for a little bit. Steve Jakatis has talked about it extensively, and I genuinely, the more I think about it, the more I think that is the right path moving forward, because the traditional, we line up and fight it out this way, and maybe you leave and can shake hands on it, or maybe you walk away and you never speak to the person again. I just feel like that a different approach of how we have these conversations, and sort of leaving the ball in their court to think about what it is that they claim to believe, versus how they act, for instance, or how they're voting, for instance. I think that is a much more effective tool. But I have had some similar experiences where we're not mad, but we're loud and we're passionate about the topics.
So I like to be a little more challenging, not necessarily confrontational, but just, point out some of the stupid in their beliefs every now and then. I just can't help myself. And sometimes I'll just say it in like a sarcastic way, like just, like.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, you support a pedophile, whatever.
Can't. It's so easy nowadays too.
Well, yeah. Let's watch a clip real quick, okay? So
let's watch a clip.
Just to see who we're talking about here. Why is my clip not here now? You son of a bitch! You took my clip. All right, hold on.
Anybody else want to ask a formerly deranged Christian nationalist a question? Just drop it in the chat. We'll get to it if I can.
This is the crazy dementia-addled son of a bitch that runs the country. Let's hear him.
But they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing. No other president. The things I'm doing, nobody else was going to.
He's not wrong.
He's not, is he?
Are clapping. People are clapping for this.
Yeah. Fucking deranged. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So sometimes it's easy to just, throw a little sarcasm in there. But so street epistemology, right? I think, and I had this conversation the other day, and I'll see what you think about it. And this is the conclusion I've came to of how I at least go into those conversations with a plan. So whenever you get, they're of course going to be very sure that everything they support is moral and correct and, Christian values and all that bullshit, right? So they're going to immediately claim that about anything they support. But whenever you then show Trump and his administration saying and doing things that are contrary to that, even though they're going to deny those things, they're not even going to agree they're facts. But excuse me, I ate a burrito before this, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
We appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah. Oh man, we're classy over here. So I think you take that and you compare the actions of what they claim to support to the morals and cultural, I guess, positions that they're taking, and show the contradictory nature between the two, right? So I think do that, and then go back to your street epistemology again if you need to, and so I'm showing you that these things don't match up with what what you claim your values are. So where are your values? Because they're clearly not here in the things you say they're in. So finding out where those actually lie, and then attacking it from that point. Not attacking, that's a strong word, but then getting deeper into the conversation there. But it's always my point when I ask a question to someone like that the answer sounds stupid. Like I want them to say the stupidest thing. So, I don't want to have to point it out. I want them to demonstrate it to the people that are watching, or even just to themselves, because sometimes the words coming out of your mouth contradictory to each other may be something that can get you to stop and at least think for a second. I don't know that it will, but how'd you come up with your name?
Yeah, native. So I came up with my name. I kicked up several different names around in my head, but I wanted it to be something that sort of encapsulated my experience, right? So apostate, obviously, me leaving the faith, but the way that it went down, specifically in my situation, was there was a pretty well orchestrated plan that was in place, and it very much so felt like an ambush. Yes, I was angry. I went through a not so great angry atheist stage, but peeling that part back, I was trying to be honest with myself and other people, and it was an immediate cutoff, and there was a plan to essentially excommunicate me, and it was executed for about 4 years, and it was rough. So for me, when I started YouTube, I wanted it to sort of reflect my experience, and I very much so feel like once I deconstructed, I was ambushed, and it also kind of rolls off the tongue pretty nice. So I don't know.
It also makes
got a nice ring to it.
It also makes for a good pun.
It sure does.
I mean, that's more meaning than went into my name. I live in Kentucky. I'm an atheist.
Well, the crazy part, Joe, is the first time I ever saw your channel name, I thought he's probably the only atheist in Kentucky. So it does the trick. If that's the marketing scheme, it does the trick for new people, because that's the first thing I thought. He's got to be the only one.
That's what Matt Dillahunty said that when he came on. Aaron has said that to me twice now. Jim Helton said that to me when I first met him. Everybody says that to me. And usually the first thing I point out is actually doing this channel, I've met a ton of atheists from Kentucky now, and so there's a lot more of us than you would think. But yeah, it was originally meant to be kind of, like I just said, like this sarcastic type of like, the Kentucky atheists, because I know there's not many here. Like the numbers are not good.
But that's a good point though, because the numbers in general are getting better. It's another thing me and Lil touch on this first episode is the fact that people are walking away. There's maybe various reasons for that, but it looks to be even with all the crazy going on that the numbers for the people leaving are still going up. So that's a plus, a positive.
Yeah. Our fearless leader came to my state yesterday. Yeah. Somebody passed out and they had to like stop and start back, and he said all the things.
Did he mock him and call him a weak person, a stupid person? Yeah.
No, he said, well, he just made it clear that he didn't give a shit. Like he was bothered by the fact that it cost him some time.
He couldn't hear himself talk for quite as long.
Yeah.
What a godly example, right?
Yeah.
Deviant says, not really a question, but given how I was raised, I'd like to compare notes. Raised in a fascist and abusive family cult type situation and versus Christian nationalism. We have actually already talked about this. About having to go on to discuss that.
Send me a message and you have an open invitation. We will discuss anything you want to. Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you find that when you do like have some kind of conversation, or even just whenever you see people out in public that or in your family or whatever, like do you notice that they like they're just not connected to the reality of the situation?
I'm sorry, Joe. I truly, genuinely apologize. I was overstimulated. Say that last part one more time.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at the thing, so I didn't even see that was happening.
I'm sorry. I'm reading I'm new to this, y'all.
It would have froze me too.
One more time.
So, do you notice that like people like they just believe a lot of things that just aren't connected to reality of the situation anyway, right? Like there's certain facts that are just it's what's true, like not to do with what anybody feels about stuff, like the our president is doing this awful thing, that awful thing, the Republican Party is okay with deporting brown people, no matter where they're from, really. They've killed people in the streets. They obviously have a lot of ideas that are opposite anything relating to humanism or what you would even expect of Christian values to be. Although I will say, over the last 30 years or so, you can see it definitely moving that direction anyway, like to becoming more and more hateful and or returning to a more hateful position of the past, maybe is what I should say. When it comes to people of different, ultranationalism's involved too now. So just anybody that's not white and not from here.
Right. Yeah. I say it all the time. You're welcome here if you're white, straight, and Christian. And if not, I'll go back to one of the guys I work with, for example. One of the things I've found sort of helpful dealing with him is, for instance, he told me that we should round up all the brown people essentially and throw them in the ocean. And so instead of, melting down on the guy for that being truly psychotic, I said, what if that was one of your kids' spouses or their partners? What then? And it was like the loading thing, that's the loading symbol. And they just kind of locked up for a minute. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe at least that has caused him to think, because what you're talking about is people who have bought into all of this far right nonsense. They have the flimsy excuses and the talking points they've heard from Fox News, and when you try to confront them with facts, they start firing those off automatically. They don't want to talk about it. That's just the defenses that they've kind of loaded into the script, and they fire them off. That approach doesn't work. So again, for me, I think taking it and having them say, look at it from an angle of this, what if this personally affected me, seems to be more effective. But yeah, I deal with that all the time, where you will tell them, hey, here's a fact. And then they will just go, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? Right? Yeah. Like, you don't want to have an honest conversation because we all know that it's true.
Yeah.
Where do you go? So
yeah, there's not really a lot to talk about as far as facts at that point.
Kelly asks, being part of the Christian Nationalists, did you ever do anything offensive or to someone personally and later apologize, or maybe now even friends with that person?
I don't think directly. So I was a coward, racist, so to speak, like, or homophobe. You wouldn't say these things to these people, but you would talk horribly about them behind their back. And I never went out and said something to a gay person, for instance, just to hurt their feelings or try to be a dick. But did I say things that were offensive to people and that were hurtful? Yes, all the time. That's what I thought was normal. That's what I thought was the proper way to address the LGBT community, or, Muslims, or whatever the case. But as far as people I'm friends with now, I love the fact that this community has brought people into my life that I used to just have such a negative view on. And I have some wonderful friends that I would have never met because of that fact in this community. And I love the hell out of that. But yeah, that's a good question. And it's a tough topic. I hate the person that I used to be on a lot of different levels. And all I can say at this point is I am sorry. I was, miseducated, misinformed. I was indoctrinated, and I'm trying to do better. That's really the only place you can take that kind of thing, Kelly, because I know I have probably said things that have hurt people that I can't go back and fix too, right? So for me, it's just about, it's a new day. Let's write it the right way. And that's what I strive to do. So.
I mean, in the episode, we even make a point that me and him, even like a few years ago, would have been straight up natural enemies. Like, full stop. Would not have gotten along. Wouldn't have even tried. Aunt Jer says, when Christians are abusive to people, they get upset when those people recognize the abuse and want to leave. Why are they so shocked when the people they are, when the people are understandably pissed?
Yeah. So the way that I see it is, you've got a toxic religion, right? You've got a religion that is abusive by nature. This idea that this loving being loves you so much, he's going to torture you. He's letting these bad things happen to you to teach you things. It sets people up to be in an abusive mindset. Let me tell you my personal experience when dealing with Christians getting angry and the abusive language and things like that. It is one of the most toxic things, I think, for a relationship, when you mix the Christian abuse that's already there, that loving is sometimes yelling, with this idea of fighting these hard issues like Christian nationalism. It's a very toxic environment when you add the abuse that's built into Christianity to some of these conversations. And yeah, a lot of people respond with anger. There's it's a very vicious cycle, because both sides are upset, they're both hurt, and then you add the abusive element to it. It's a bad situation.
I mean, I concur. The very good answers, though, better than I would have said it. So I'm just going to go with what you said. I think that we've probably shared a lot of those same situations. I mean, it's sometimes just the way that you're raised among people like that. There's just you were unlucky to be born where you were. The eventually though, being able to realize the error of your ways and do whatever you can do to do better. I mean, like, you can't change the past. You can be regretful of it and all that stuff, whatever you want to do, but focusing on trying to change that rather than do better going forward is kind of silly, I think. So I agree with you. I've said a number of times that I would go to church and it was nothing for the preacher to like use racist language and I mean, whatever you can think of. And among members of the church and the community and stuff, I mean, it's hell, that shit's still normal a lot of times. Some of the good old boys here in Kentucky, and I know you have that there too. Like I know that, and I know that Lil does too. It's something we all share in common, and why this is such an interesting conversation. So I appreciate you sharing, and I know that the sometimes maybe the questions get into some stuff, and that's I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I empathize with you though.
No, and I agree. I love the fact that we can come together and tell our stories, and there's so many similarities. You're like, okay, this is not just me, because that obviously, it helps with that feeling of, am I crazy? Like, am I the only one like this or thinks this way? So that I really, the sense of community here is so much different than it was in the church for me, and I'm really enjoying the fact that this community is helps each other grow. We support each other, and it's great. It's awesome. But,
Kelly says, another question: is there anyone else that left the Christian Nationalist group that you were a part of, and do you still associate with said person?
There actually have been some people that left before me and then after me. I don't associate with any of them anymore. There was a couple who left before me, and when all of this happened to me, they came to my side and to my aid. They helped me out a little bit, and once I got down to Memphis and was struggling through that, I'm not going to get into all that backstory, but I basically got a letter from them saying, we tried. We thought that you were just hung up on the cult stuff of the religion, but you clearly hate the whole religion. You're against, basically we tried to convert you. It didn't work. And now we're also done with you. So that has been my experience with people who have left that I did try to associate with. It seemed very much to me that once they realized they couldn't, basically reconvert me and then take me to, whatever church they're attending, at this point, then it was like, all right, well, adios. We tried. So no, to answer your question, Kelly, those groups tend to be, they will cut you off, and the people in them view you, once you've been excommunicated, they're taught to view you as, in the past, dead and gone. So very unfortunate situation, but great question. See, I have strokes, by the way, mini strokes like that all the time. Forgive me. You should see the outtake reel for me and Lil show.
It was described as disgustingly cute.
Yeah. Well, go check that out on Lil's channel. I don't have a link for it. I should have put one up for it. I didn't think of it.
Let me ask you this, Joe. From your perspective, from where you live and all the other stuff, just kind of keeping an eye on this situation. What is your take on this deal with Iran? And is this, as far as what the Christian nationalist stuff goes, what are you seeing and hearing in your area? Is this the end of the world? Is this Armageddon's about to start? What's the vibe down there?
Well, so every event is the end of the world with them usually. So nothing new to report in that area.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
I think that there's first of all, let me tell you what my position is, because I haven't had a lot of conversations about it with anybody outside of Laura. Really, that's really the only person I talk to. So, I mean, here anyway, I talk to all kinds of you guys. But everybody's diehard Trump here. So, like, whatever needs to be said, they want to see us help Israel in any way. That's why I said maybe I should explain my position, because I think that Netanyahu just finally convinced a dumbass president to engage in this war that is going to have lots of negative consequences.
I have a hypothesis about that.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I'm pretty convinced that Israel probably has something with the Epstein files that Trump does not want out, because we know Epstein was working with like all sorts of people. So my bet is that Israel has enough compromising material to be like, you're going to do this or we're going to release this. And he's like, oh shit, because that's the only thing I've ever seen him give a damn about. Is there
So like that stuff, like Epstein was like had some extreme religious views, right? So and these guys were like, he was involved in intelligence things in all kinds of places. We know that already, and there's a lot of questions about that, and we're never going to get the answers to those. I'm fully aware of that. But that particular part there, the fanatical religious group that like believes in the Moya and all that crap, yeah, Epstein was kind of extreme in that regard, and those guys are extra spooky, right?
Yeah.
So I don't doubt that Netanyahu has everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he had all the tapes, all of the documents, everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Epstein, made sure it went to him in case of, something.
I wouldn't be surprised if Russia has it too.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The scary part for me, coming from a Christian nationalist background, this event has been talked about for a long time in my group, because any 3 minutes something's going to happen in the Middle East, and that's going to kick off this return of Christ. And that is something that we had to have happen, and that we wanted to happen so bad. Now, the perception is from a lot of the people that are still in this, it's literally happening. Even though we know there has been conflict over there, since biblical times. It's always been over religious nonsense, and it's going to continue to be over religious nonsense. But there is a large group of people who think this sort of greenlights them because the end is not coming, it's finally here. That scares me a little bit, because I know the firepower and the mindset that some of these groups have, and they perceive reality a lot different than we do.
Right.
That scares me a little bit with where we're at politically in general right now with MAGA.
Right. So having these Christian political organizations in the highest levels of government and intelligence is bad.
Yeah, for sure. That's one way of putting it. Yes.
Yeah.
Very bad.
I think that the intelligence ties that there are around this, and the whole international picture that it draws, I think there's definitely some things we don't know about that by design. I mean, that's how intelligence works, right? They're not sharing it with everybody. There was a gnat right in front of my face. That was awful. Welcome to Kentucky.
But yeah,
they're everywhere.
You're right. Yeah, that's not for public consumption, and there is some balance that has to go into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's what I'm excited about with this whole thing. When Israel takes some direct shots and some of their landmarks get destroyed, and they really start hyperventilating about it being like any 3 minutes, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then we're a year out and nothing's happened, and we're 5 years out and then 10 years out, and it's like, maybe this will be a tipping point for somebody. Okay, Israel gets smacked around and all their monuments destroyed and all these prophecies don't happen. Now what?
I think they missed a hell of a chance to bring back the term weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, man, can you imagine? Trump would have loved that.
Yeah,
if that would have been his term. Remember how much Bush used it? My God, Trump would have had it. Would have been on shirts.
Isn't that kind of the same thing that's going on now, though, right? Like Iran is this big scary nuclear threat, and Iran's ideology and their approach to human rights, garbage, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with Iran, but as a theocracy, for sure. But also, I don't agree with taking this war and adding all this religious connotation to it, which people in the government have done as well. Let's be clear. It's not like it's just some extremist crazy guy over here saying that. Like, they've said this stuff. There's those questionable reports. I did see the thing by him and understand a little bit about that now. The questionable reports about telling the soldiers that they're bringing Jesus back by bombing Iran and stuff. I don't know if that happened or not, but I don't think it's not based in some kind of truth somewhere along the way.
What we do know, in absence of knowing that particular part, we know for a fact that Pete Hegseth is driving the military, right? We know that he has a direct connection and direct influence from Doug Wilson, who is an open, not only Christian nationalist, but just like a open extremist, really. I mean, he does not care. So we do know this evidence exists. We know where this guy's getting his influence. We know what his tattoos say about him. We see that kind of stuff. So I think it's pretty safe to conclude that that is his belief based on who he associates himself with and whose influence he's under. That's enough of a red flag for me. He's psychotic, and he's a whole nother topic and a whole nother 2-hour episode. But now we can't take pictures of him because they're unflattering when he's doing his Sig Heil up there on the podium with Trump in the background. They don't want pictures of that. No, so we're just going to ban the cameras instead of ceasing with the Nazi salutes.
Yeah. Well, how dare you ask them to be conscious of the message that they're putting out,
Yeah. Or other people in general that, may be hurt or offended by something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that these type of dog whistle things, whether through, physical action or words to the media or somebody else, whatever, from the government are this keeps happening, right? Like, and it's, I think even for people who, I don't understand people who, because there's a spectrum, right? It's not either you're all the way, everything Trump says is 100% true and support him through everything or nothing,
right.
Or love Joe Biden, whatever, however they want to put it. Or Barack Obama. He's been on that a lot lately. But, there's people that along the way are like, okay, that's one more Nazi thing too far for me. I don't agree with those racist positions. How do you think that some of those people eventually come all the way away from those things as you did, or you think that's a very uncommon thing? I think it's a very uncommon thing. What's your view?
For at this point, it really looks more and more divided by the day, even within the MAGA movement. I feel like you are either supporting him or you're not at this point, and it's a pretty clear line because of how extreme it's gotten. You know, I came out of it, right? I may lose subscribers for this, but I'm an honest guy. I've got to be an open book. I voted for the guy the first time, much to my chagrin now. But I am where I'm at now, and I know that 180 can happen. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, there are people who do change. But at this point, the ones who are still doubling down and supporting him are, I think it may be getting a little bit too far gone at this point with some of them, because it's truly psychotic. I left supporting him, 6 years ago now, 7 years ago. So it's taken some time for me to kind of readjust and learn things. But no, there are people who will come out of it. I just feel like if they've doubled down to this point, it's going to be tough because it's getting absolutely unhinged.
Yeah. Madam President Mosh Pit became a member. Thank you, Madam President Mosh Pit, for the membership. Those things are 99 cents if anybody else wants them. I did a member stream yesterday, and Lil and Seth were actually there for that, and we talked about some other stuff until my phone went dead. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you have to be a member to see that.
It's worth it. I have to say, the member streams are usually off the hook. They're usually pretty good. That we usually end up getting into a pretty good conversation because, you can say whatever. I'm not sharing that stuff. It doesn't leave there. It's and we don't have to worry about getting shut down by YouTube. So we can say whatever the fuck we want. Which, I do anyway. So, moving on. Thanks for the membership. Oh, what's going on? Okay, that's the bot doing all that shit, isn't it? That's the bot runs this channel. I just show up.
You just show up.
Yeah. I think I put I wouldn't swear to it, so I don't know if I should even say so, but I think I put the flag thing for Ember in the bot. Let me see if I did.
Oh, I hope so. I'm getting one when I get an actual office. For sure.
I know I went and entered it. I just don't know if it's. Let's see. It's not. I'm sorry. I thought I did.
Better than Ember.
I really did.
Go sub her.
Yeah.
And look at the flag art she does. Awesome.
Yeah.
Lil, let me ask you, because I've heard a lot about it. And again, when you come out of a group like this, the information is so heavily controlled. Who you can listen to for your news, who you can follow on Facebook, and all that stuff. How much of this Iran is a threat is legitimate coming from your perspective? Like, because I've heard for decades, Iran's this close, and then what was it back in the fall of last year? I thought we utterly decimated Iran, and they were no longer a threat, and blah blah blah. So, which is it, and is any of it true at all? Because I genuinely, I'm confused.
They have been having this line since like 1992 that Iran's a week away from getting a nuclear weapon. They do not have a nuclear weapon. They are not close to getting a nuclear weapon. It's one of those things that also, as religiously fanatic as they are, they're also somewhat rational that they know exactly what would happen if they used a nuclear weapon. They're not going to do it. And like I said, they don't even have a nuclear weapon. This crap that Trump is saying about, they were a week away from getting a nuclear weapon. The deal Obama made would have let them have a nuclear weapon by now. Is complete and utter horseshit. He's the one that pulled us out of the deal, which allowed them to get to the point that they had some uranium enriched. But no, they're not a threat. only threat that they have now is that they're with the Strait of Hormuz and like basically bombing all the ships that come through there.
Right, but
And
that's a result of this attack on them. That they weren't doing that until we blew up one of their primary schools.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Good call, Seth. Good call, Seth. Here we go. Let's watch the video.
New report says that the military investigation has found that the United States struck the school in Iran. As Commander-in-Chief, do you take responsibility for that?
That is what?
As Commander-in-Chief, do you...
For what?
For the strike on the school in Iran. A new report says the military investigation has found it was the United States that struck the school.
I don't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't know about it, Don.
Yeah. He never does he?
No.
I don't
have you
know
ever
that
noticed?
person. I don't know that thing. Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that he is the world's expert on fucking everything until it makes him look bad and then he knows nothing about it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's called a red flag, y'all. So here again, you're trying to tell me that this is, and in Trump's mind, he wants to be the one at the helm behind this big end of the world thing. Like, he's super narcissistic. So you mean to tell me that you don't have any knowledge of this strike being ours, and these missiles are precision, right? Like, you can't accident. You don't go, oh man, I was a little up and to the left. These are precision airstrikes, millions of dollars around, so to speak. And you don't know if one of them went astray and hit a school? No one told you as the president? I'm sorry, I don't believe you. And there's my reasoning. Next question. It's crazy.
And he's also trying to say that that what hit the school was tomahawks, and many other countries have tomahawks. 3 other countries have tomahawks.
Exactly.
And none of them are involved in this. The only ones that have tomahawks that are involved in this are us. Yeah. And it's not like you can manufacture these things easily and they might look like a tomahawk. Like, you've got to have the tomahawks, you've got to have the launching equipment. You can only launch it from a submarine or a warship. That's it.
Do you think if another ship launched or anybody launched a Tomahawk missile in the middle of this, that everybody present wouldn't know they were there? Like, exactly. Everyone would know immediately who the party was firing off these missiles. But it's also kind of stupid to even suggest that, we're firing all kinds of Tomahawk missiles, but it was someone else's Tomahawk missile that did that. Right. Like, and Pete Hegseth refused to even speak about it. Right? He wouldn't even speak to the media. Right. Of course.
Now, I don't remember who exactly said it, but now apparently the official line is that it was bad intelligence and they hadn't updated their targeting systems.
Yeah. Well, again, we know they're known liars. We know they engage in propaganda. And I've already heard that it was Iran that bombed their own school, which is just horseshit propaganda.
Do you know what that excuse is called, Lil? What it's called whenever you do that, like it say that it's because of bad intelligence and all of that stuff. Like, why? So you're claiming incompetence is the problem here, right? Like,
not a great look either. Seeing that you're getting ready to kick off a massive world conflict.
And the thing is, it's like, I think that even if Trump doesn't, because I think he's honestly delusional enough that he might not realize this, but other people in the administration realize how bad this is. He lost half of his support with the Epstein thing. He's lost another half over this shit. And, like, they understand how bad it is. They understand that, like most of the American people do, this is a war of choice. This is something that we did not have to do. We did not have to get involved in. But we did. And there's no... The thing is, like, with Trump in office, there is no easy climb down from this. There is no easy way to back off.
I mean, what is the best case scenario they can claim here? Collateral damage? Like, is that the go-to then? I mean, because, like, there's not there's not a good way to put that you killed, hundreds of children.
And
no, but he's already. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, even in the past, when we have accidentally bombed something that we did not mean to, like this, regardless of what you thought about the administration or the war at the time, 9 times out of 10, they would come out and be like, "That was an accident. We are sorry."
Yeah.
And I get that the apology is hollow, but still, they would at least acknowledge that it was a mistake.
These
they
guys
will
don't
not
do
do that this time.
No, but I mean, Trump has already set the stage with his Lord Farquaad speech. Some of you may die. And he got right out in front of it. And, and so to him, it's just, listen, he is the center of the world stage in his mind and in reality, quite frankly, for all the wrong reasons. But that's all he's concerned with. He doesn't give a shit about those dead kids. He doesn't care how many of our soldiers get injured or killed over there. And he doesn't care about the civilian deaths over there either. So,
a really important point. Keep in mind, he ordered all federal flags flown at half-mast for like a week for fucking Charlie Kirk. Did not do that for the 6 dead soldiers.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that guy. We don't know him.
Fuck that guy.
So, yeah, that's our president, right? So, congratulations.
And I mean, he has the balls to come out and fucking lie about the families and lie about what they said to him. Because he's like, they all said, please finish the job. I guarantee you they did not all say that. Maybe one, if that. But no, nobody is saying that because they're like, why the fuck is this even happening? They have not given a single solid reason for it. Okay. And they keep changing it.
So this next question is going to be a tough one, and it's for both of you, okay? I blanked out kind of here. So Trump wore a hat at the thing for the bodies coming back, and why do you think on the left and among left-wing commentators and news channels, and I'm not throwing any shade at what you do, Lil, but I think you're a person to answer this question. Why is there more outrage about him wearing a hat than the fact that there seem to be credible statements that he molested underage kids? Like, why is that the media picture?
So this is one of those things where it depends on where you get your news from. Like, I keep up with the mainstream media because I want to know what they're saying, but that's not who I rely on for my news. I rely on independent media and media that's worldwide. Part of the reason, though, is because it does. One of the reasons why I'm glad that they did highlight that, and they also highlight the fact that Fox brought up the wrong fucking footage. They obviously did it on purpose because it shows how Fox is. I mean, in blatant detail, no, they were absolutely covering for Trump for this because that is massively disrespectful. I don't care what you have to say about the war. It's massively disrespectful to the people who died. Period. To do that. And when it happened under Biden, and Biden checked his watch for like a second, and they fucking crucified him for it. And here's Trump wearing a fucking hat, which is just like... So, yeah, it's one of those things that there was so much outrage on the right side about Biden checking his watch for a second that, yeah, they do need to highlight it, but it's one of those things, too, that I don't think the Epstein thing is not going to go away. It's just, even though it's not headline news at the moment, it's still like halfway down the page that you're going to see it. So...
Yeah.
I mean, he cannot shake the Epstein story no matter what he does.
Well, I think flashing out accordingly.
Yeah. And yeah, there's also there's a good chunk of the mainstream media that is attempting to play nice, which fuck them for trying.
Well, but more specifically, Joe, you were asking, why? I guess why are people more mad about the hat than the fact that this 13-year-old girl's statement had come out?
Yeah.
That
I
part
don't
blows
think
my
they
mind
are.
too. Well, I mean, why is it not on every news channel?
Yeah.
Is beyond
Well,
me. But
I mean,
go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, just to be fair, like the statement, like we knew about the statement a couple weeks ago. We knew that they were hiding it. So in that sense, it's not necessarily something new and fresh. It's just information added on to something we already knew about. This is something new, and
Yeah,
that kind of tends to grab people's attention until they're like, okay, and then they move back to, oh, holy crap, the Epstein files.
yeah.
So
I don't
go
know
ahead.
why. For me personally, it's the biggest issue there is. Like, why are we not prosecuting? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to talk about, we got all these illegals over here committing all this crime. Okay, well, do you want the justice system to work and the laws to be enforced and these bad illegals sent back to wherever they came from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can we also enforce the fact that there has been a victim come forward and made an allegation? Should we not follow through with that on the legal system too? Should
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And there's
Yeah.
a huge disconnect with these type of people, but that's
Yeah.
could
Who
start a tangent. So.
whose responsibility is it to hold our government accountable? Fundamentally, like whose job is that?
The DOJ.
Uh,
He's
well, legally accountable, yeah.
We're looking
I,
for we the people, I believe.
we the people, yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, and I mean at this
yeah.
point, you can have that conversation and genuinely, and it's like, okay, well, what are the options? What does that look like?
Yeah.
Um, how would we even come together to plan and then put out this plan of action to stop it or change it? I don't know, but you're
Well,
right. I mean, at the end of the day, it is our responsibility.
I
Yeah.
don't think they view the people as having any power once they're elected.
No, they don't.
Like
They don't.
once you get what you need, you go on and then do things that are against that person's personal interest.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, okay, look at
works.
Texas. Yeah, look at Texas, for instance. Texas is at bare minimum purple or straight up blue at this point. There are more registered Democrats in Texas than there are Republicans. They just came out, and the state health department basically made certain forms of cannabis completely illegal, despite the fact that like the voters have said what they want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Sorry.
and it's one of those things that Texas is kind of a microcosm of what's happening on the national level with the administration, but Texas does not give a fuck what the people here want. The people here have said over and over and over, like, for instance, with the abortion restriction, saying, like, look, you've got to give some guidance to doctors so they're not having to send patients out of state because they're scared to risk not only their medical license, but 99 years in prison if the DA decides that it was an illegal abortion. Not a doctor, the DA. And it's they don't give a shit because they've been able to suppress the vote and they've been able to gerrymander for so many years that they've kind of got a lock on it unless there's just overwhelming support. I'm hoping that the way that it's looking now, like, we might actually have a shot. But I mean, like, the guy who's running on the Republican side for Senate, Kim Paxton, is probably next to Trump, probably the most vile politician out there. And that's saying something because there's a lot of really nasty people, but he's awful.
Yeah. So, as we have talked about recently, Lil, I think we do see people changing their mind that were Trump supporters and are no longer Trump supporters, or even supported the Republican Party in general, for that matter. And you see some of those going both ways too. Like you see some people going further extremists, and a lot of the QAnon crowd is mad with Trump now, and apparently he's the boogeyman now for the moment. Which okay, but there are people that are leaving it, and do you think that they're leaving it? Do you think that if you polled those people, that the reasoning would be mostly because of facts and reason and things, facts that changed, or do you think that it would be more related to like cultural pressure?
Both. So speaking of my personal life, someone that I'm extremely close to, that I have pretty much said, like, if you cannot bring yourself to vote for Harris, which I was given the stupidest reason ever not to vote for her. I don't like her tone. But I was like, look, if you can't bring yourself to vote for her, just don't vote. Please, just don't. Because, and I get it. I get that the vote didn't count for crap here in Texas. One vote is not going to change jack here, but just don't, just for my peace of mind. Lied to me about it for a year. And then they're like, well, I just really don't like some of the stuff he's doing. And I'm like, he has broken every single promise that he made. Every single one of them. Every single one. How can you people still follow him? He promised no new wars. We are now in a war. He promised that he would bring prices down. Prices are higher than they've been. Like, there's no jobs. He's just wrecking everything. And like I've said over and over and over, you cannot lie to people about their pocketbooks. They know what their paycheck is, they know what their bills are, and they know when their bills go up, especially if they are living paycheck to paycheck. You can't lie to them about that. Yeah. And if you can, then they're just dumb as fuck to begin with.
Well, see, I think the average person doesn't vote based on policy anyway. I think they will claim that, like they claim they support this policy and that policy. But I don't think that that's actually where those are the arguments they will make 100% of the time. Those are the arguments the pundits and the media will make 100% of the time. But
right.
The thing, and look, I've had a kind of selfish motive for the last few conversations on this show, because I'm trying to better understand how it is that whenever these people who claim that they support X, whether it's some crazy fascist ideology or not, and then their stated values as a Christian or as their morality or whatever, there's the things that they state that they value don't match up to the things that they support. And I'm interested in how we have conversations, how you get to a conversation in that place so that you can make that person demonstrate themselves that the position that they hold is silly as fuck. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get there, and that's what these conversations have been about.
Right.
So with that goal in mind, how do you even waste your time discussing the Dow? Like, is it at 50,000 today? Do we know? Why even bother? Even with the Attorney General of the United States sitting in front of Congress under oath, she does not give a fuck about one single fact that they stated to her, and engages in personal attacks. So is it the facts
deflection
that are
ad
going to
hominem
change people's minds, or is it the cultural pressure that is applied from each side doing these silly acts for camera time? Like, is it theater or is it fucking real? Like,
it's a good question.
Or is it both? It could be both.
Lil, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I did it for you, Bree. I made sure I got it in there for you.
It depends on. I mean, it just with me, like, it depends on the person. The person who I was talking to, I know how to get them out of that thinking and give them that perspective to be like, wait a second, yeah, this is not what I voted for. Other people though, and I've said this before, other people, I am not the right person to do that. I'm too fiery sometimes, and so.
So the thing that I'm talking about isn't necessarily promoting that anybody. In fact, I would say I'm kind of the opposite on that you go into one of those conversations if you know aren't ready and willing to have to engage in some what could be pretty nasty back and forth, So I'm not encouraging anybody to do that, but I know that sometimes we find ourselves in that position anyway. Like I know living among these people, like I've told this story on the channel before. My family, myself, Laura, and my son Noah were in the grocery store, and some lady just walks up to us and starts saying "fuck Joe Biden" and all this stuff, like. Because of the price of fucking sugar or something. I don't know. But it wasn't eggs. We weren't in the freezer section, or the cooler section. So but like these interactions still happen sometimes, and I'm interested in when it is these moments occur that people maybe have a moment where they at least suspect some kind of cognitive dissonance between their values and those things they claim to support. I know that a lot of people are just pieces of shit people, right? Like I'm not saying that's not the primary thing. There's a lot of shit people out there. There's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there too. Like the average person is a fucking idiot, like I don't claim to be smart. I'm one on here that'll tell you all the time I don't know shit. Like the so like the average person doesn't know shit. Most of the Americans don't know basic facts about their government, how many states there are, what the branches of the government are. That they don't know that the president doesn't have absolute power to bring back Jesus or whatever. Like the so it's not always fruitful to engage with those people. I get that, but occasionally there's people that like you're going to have the conversation, and I'm just interested in thinking about how to better do that whenever it happens, because I want to make them look stupid.
Well, that is a good approach and has its place for sure. My thing when I have these conversations, knowing the mindset they're in now and knowing how hard it is to get out of, I'm just hoping that the light switch will flip, because everybody I've talked to, and I know for myself, I experienced this. It was like once you see this for what it is, you can't really unsee it. And once you realize, hey, what I'm supporting is horrible, you can't really go back and start justifying it again. At least that's been my experience. And a lot of people I've asked and talked to about this topic. So my goal is that one day, one of these conversations, whether it's, well, you wanted no war, he ran on no war, and now he started a war. If that's the light switch that flips, that goes, you know what, I can't argue with this. It's right. You can't unsee that. And then you start looking at everything else that he said, for instance, and you start seeing it for what it actually is. So I'm just trying to flip the light switches in people's heads. And it may take time.
Preach on, Brother Seth.
Oh, Jesus. We start a sermon up in this house. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm just, you got the Jesus involved.
Listen, my dad was a Southern Baptist pastor, man. I got it.
I knew a lot of pastors. We'll just stop there. But okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a message. Important things happening.
We're doing it live.
So
fuck it, we'll do it live.
So anyway, you and Lil have a show that you're doing, Candle in the Chaos, that comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
That you're talking about stuff related to all of what we're talking about here today, right?
Right.
But this is also not just your past and or your experiences or your position based on those experiences. This is something that is ongoing as far as in public, in our country, politically, whatever. Like this is something that continues to be ongoing, and
right.
I think that whenever I say things like I want to make people look stupid, it's for their own good. Like
right.
It's not like sometimes. Look, it's okay that you're too stupid to know what to do for your own good. Let me help you.
Right.
And so that's kind of the place I'm coming from with that. Like, I think that some people do have a chance. There's not like a lot of them. I think that it's mostly a lost cause. You know, some of them are just too blood cult magic. You know, like I don't know. But see, whenever I say like if you're someone who accepts that magic can be the answer to any question, in any one, even if it's just one question, if magic is a possibility in your natural world, then like it's hard to really talk about things because you've always got a magic friend to bail you out, and
right. And no disrespect by this, but I mean it's delusion. I mean, I don't have the definition pulled up, and maybe Lil can help with that because she's excellent at stuff like that. But you're dealing with people.
Make me a sandwich, Lil. That's what he said.
Did not say that for the record.
That's what he said.
That did not come out of my mouth.
Yeah,
those days are behind me. Thank you very much.
The couple's on here today, and he's throwing out orders.
Getting hungry over here.
It's do it yourself.
I'm not trying to start anything, but he told me he was going to do that before the show.
I don't even like hearing you say that about yourself, Lil. I would never call you that. Yeah, well, that's totally thrown my train of thought off. So thanks, guys. The chat, you guys are awesome.
I'm just joking.
Thanks for hanging out.
Don't be a misogynist asshole, guys. It was a joke. Like, I'm just kidding. Sorry if someone found that offensive out there. You should find it offensive.
It's all in good fun.
It's who I am. Sorry.
What did you want me to look up?
Sandwiches.
I was trying to make a serious point on a live political talk show, but we got us a little sidetracked. No, I was just saying, you're dealing with somebody who I believe by definition would be delusional. They live in a reality that doesn't line up with what best everyone else who is not delusional can tell. And, again, at that point, the facts, Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. It sounds like you found it.
Characterized by holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary as a symptom of serious mental illness. That is the exact definition.
I mean, I say
Let's
this
be careful
lot.
not to diagnose mental.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's from Oxford. It's from Oxford.
Okay.
It's not me.
Just the definition, not health professionals. Talk to someone about mental health. Just do it in general. Just anybody. I think it helps anybody. I think just try it out. Yeah. But no diagnosis. But we're dealing with people who are not in reality. And so, again, my goal with them is to just be like, maybe this will flip a switch that they can't unflip. And that'll get the ball rolling. And then maybe they come back. And maybe we can continue a conversation when they're in a different place. Because in that moment, they're not with us. And I am comfortable saying that because I was that guy for 15 years at least. I wasn't with everybody else. And so understanding that, it makes the conversation limited as to what they're going to, actually digest of that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And I think that it's probably good that you went back to that. That makes a lot of sense. I do like that, that way of thinking about it too. I not quite the way that I would word it, I guess, of course. But I like your approach to it.
Well, thank you, Joe. I like yours too, man. That's just what happens when you get people together with different perspectives and different takes.
And let's be very clear. It was a joke about Lil. Lil is my friend and my co-host here, and contributes to the show just as much as anybody. And I would trust you to run this show if I wasn't here. So it was a joke. Okay, I promise. Like it was. I was kidding. No. I just need to make sure everybody is aware that I wasn't being mean to you. That it was a joke.
You have called me out multiple times on the show.
Wow. And Lil, I will say publicly and on the record that I will never call you a bitch or demand you make me a sandwich, and that's a promise.
What if I offer a sandwich?
The internet now knows. I'll take an offered sandwich. Okay. As long as it's consensual. I mean, we can talk about it. But
you can ask me for a sandwich. Don't tell me to make a sandwich. You can ask me for one, though.
Got it. Or I could make my own. Or, I'm also,
that too.
We could go that route.
And make me one while you're at it.
That works too. I think, Joe, I just want to say something while I'm thinking about it. I appreciate the opportunity being here because I was actually in the backstage little chat with you guys when, you were looking for a new co-host and y'all got together and started talking, and it was just this organic thing. And I was literally sitting here with my mic muted, just watching. I'm like, this is going to be great. And what you guys have done, especially over the past couple months with this show specifically is awesome. And I'm grateful to be a small part of this. So,
no, I mean, I love that we, first of all, Lil and I, we agree on a whole lot of stuff. And so whenever we have I guess whenever because it's kind of, I had the show before Lil came along, right? So
right.
my ideas for what I'm doing here and stuff, usually if I have some sort of position that I'm wanting to convey through the show or whatever, like Lil is almost always 100% on board with that same ideal. So that makes it easy, right? We're pretty much like anti-Nazi, and that would be enough.
Right.
So there's other things we agree on, of course, but Lil does great, and I have not to speak down on Robin's time here or anything. Robin, contributed a lot and was the person that started this show with me. But I've enjoyed the change in pace of conversations that Lil and I have. Not to say that they're necessarily better or whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's been a change in pace of how the show's done. We've added a second show. People come and watch it. It's been cool. We get a lot of interaction from on both of our channels from people, and so it's been a success in that way. I published a recorded video that I did on my channel, which is obviously the bigger channel here, right? Like, it shouldn't be a problem for me to, in general, get more views than Lil, right? It gets 25 views on my channel. Last I looked, it had like 700 or 800 on hers. And it's
I have
just,
no idea why.
It's just me. It's just my video. It's done under the Politicality logo, so it's both of us, But it's just a video I made about Kristi Noem. Like, it was just me in the video. But it has done so much better on her channel, and I'm happy that happens. Like that's no matter who's seeing it where, I'm glad that people watched it and thought it was worth watching. So I don't really give a shit about any kind of competitive thing as far as making videos in this space. I love to see more and more people talking about these things. So
this is a team effort. So
me and Lil were actually talking about that last night. The bittersweet part of not being able to keep up with your friends' content, because more and more people are doing more and more things, but just to see the growth in the people around us in this little circle of content creators, man, I'm loving it. I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. So I'm along for the ride, man.
I've been critical of like call-in shows that are just like I said something about it on Discord the other day, and I've said it before, but like whenever everyone tries to model shows on the line and have it, call in and talk to me about Jesus, and I'll tell you how you're wrong type thing. Like, I don't disagree with people doing call-in shows at all. Like, do whatever. It doesn't matter if I do. Like, understand that what I say doesn't make a fuck about anything. This is just some dude from Kentucky running his mouth. It doesn't matter. Okay. I think that it's fine that the line's popular, and I have complete respect for those guys over there and what they do, and for most of the people that make shows like it. But it just bores the fucking dog shit out of me. I just can't get behind it. I think it's useful to people who are coming into these things, and like, if you're, and I agree, it's probably like a good spot to at least plant seeds to change people's minds and stuff. It's not a bad idea. It's just my personal views. It's just like, I'm just bitching about it because that's what I'm old and have nothing better to do. So get the fuck off my lawn.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel most of the time.
I don't know. It's depressing is what it is. I've realized recently, and just whenever you think like, oh, deconstruction was this or that, there's always something else that hits you in the face, and you're like, I hadn't really viewed this thing that way yet. And they don't always have to be big major issues. It's little things in your life that make your day to day. And so just this idea of how people think about these things and how crazy some of it has been my focus of late. I'm on to something here, and so I've kind of been pursuing that. So if the questions were a little weird and stuff, it's because they were asked selfishly. Once again, I did not prepare any of this. It was just.
Do we ever?
I drank an energy drink and then we started talking. Like, it's just how it went. That's.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, and it's one of those things, like, I kind of show up prepared regardless of whether I want to or not. I'm a political junkie, so I'm constantly following the news. And with my other job, I'm constantly, like, keeping up with everything that's going on. So I keep up with it whether I want to or not.
This is how Seth and I talk to each other, though. So, like, this is now 3 for 3.
This is how we communicate primarily, is live in front of the world.
Have I don't know if I've ever talked to you without being under the influence of cannabis.
I've never talked to any of y'all without being under the influence of cannabis.
Right.
I've been using it.
So that's the reason. Okay.
And we've met each other.
We have.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but me and another YouTuber that you know pretty well, that rules a specific asteroid, are actually going to do an episode about cannabis in general. So that's going to be fun. But no, I think you're correct. We've never not. And our conversations are usually public, but,
yeah,
is what it is.
I mean, I guess our conversation was public here in Kentucky because we were outside most of the time.
And Kentucky was in a lot of that was in passing. Like, hey, what do you need? Hey, what is this? Hey, yeah, I'll go over here.
Yeah, but you and Austin came and hung out too. Like,
afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
For way late. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
We are hopefully going to see each other. We're definitely going to see each other at Rocket City, correct? You're going, we're going. So we will have somewhat of a in-person reunion there. To what extent lodging and stuff like that is still to be determined. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get all that worked out, and we'll do something special with it too. We'll document some of the
shenanigans
experience.
Mini shenanigans.
And but yeah, we haven't worked all that out yet, and but we've got a lot of time. So but yeah, I'll be there in Alabama too. So that's gonna be fun.
Gonna be a good time.
Will's gonna come with us too. It'll be me and Laura and Noah and Will. Laura and Noah go everywhere with me. Just so my family goes wherever we go together. If we're going somewhere like that, yeah. The plus, that's a fun time for them too. There's stuff,
for sure.
My son Noah just likes staying in different places. He wants to check everything out. He stayed at the Airbnb with us for the ARC protest, and like nobody even really noticed because he's just chill and he was what, like 6? He was 6 then. And was, just well behaved and a good kid and curious about things. He went to the ARC protest even though it was
500 degrees.
Yeah, it was. I told everybody to be prepared for a hot day, and I was right.
You weren't joking.
Yeah, July here in Kentucky is not always the most pleasant place to be. You wouldn't think of Kentucky
Texas.
Yeah. You wouldn't think of Kentucky. Most people don't think of Kentucky being like that. It's like a jungle, dude. It is just sweltering, humid, hot here all the time. And
muggy.
If you're anywhere near the river, you can smell it usually the whole time, which is less than fantastic. But, again, Kentucky's beautiful and lots of great things here. I would recommend some of the sites in Kentucky to anybody, no matter what you think of this state politically or morally or whatever. Like, there's things that I would recommend you see here. Mammoth Caves is the largest cave system in the world that we know about anyway. There's a lot of great things here. I think Abraham Lincoln's mom might have had a baby here. There's a thing. I think that's actually close to where the ARC protest was. The birthplace of Lincoln or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's right down the road from there. But yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. See, I screwed up with the ARC protest, and to be fair though, I admitted the whole way along I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. That like I just kind of took this on and tried my best. And I had a format to kind of go by, so, and I thought that was pretty easy to pull off. So I just was like, okay, I'll do that. And it wasn't quite as easy as I thought. And one of the things I should have done differently was plan around the ARC protest for the people that were going to be there the whole weekend, because there were like theme parks nearby. Waverly Hills Sanitarium is right down the road. We were right outside of Louisville. There's all kinds of shit there. But yeah, there's like theme parks and water parks and all kinds of shit right down there. Like there was a lot of things we could have went and done as a group to have fun. And I wish I would have done that. I don't know about taking beer and weed into theme parks these days, but I imagine they'd have to be okay with it.
Hey, as long as they allow vapes in, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they do. I don't care. I used to love going to theme parks. I don't really do it anymore. I don't think my doctor, and this is just a guess, but I don't think my doctor would want me to do it even if I was, not a 300-pound man. Because I have a mechanical valve in my heart, and I imagine putting G forces on that thing probably isn't the best thing to do. I haven't asked. I just kind of assumed I'm not supposed to do it anymore.
Very smart of you, Joe. Please don't.
Actually, I have a friend of mine that has the same thing. He has an artificial valve, and he was told not to.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I quit talking to my doctor a few years ago. They didn't offer any advice. It was come in, have an EKG, ask the same questions, send you on your way, and see you again like a year later. So I see no point in continuing that relationship. But I have a doctor I see. It's just not that one. Well, actually, no, I don't, because he's only online anyway, and we just text him. But I have a doctor I text. How's that? Better than no doctor at all, I suggest. Yeah, I just kind of figured that's probably not a good idea. Like, I mean, because I was like roller coaster junkie about it. Like, I love roller coasters, thrill rides. I've done that, like the extreme Skyfire thing where you pull the ripcord and you swing, like you drop like 100 foot and then swing.
I've gone skydiving.
I haven't been. I never could afford that at one time.
Red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't raised by those kind of people, Lil. What the fuck?
I'm glad you got that out of your system, because I ain't going with you. I'll tell you that right now.
It was 20 years ago, so
I'm just saying. I used to be a big roller coaster fan too. We have Carowinds, which is on the Carolina line.
Yeah. I know.
So my kids still love it. I went with them last summer, and they have the Fury, and I don't know what the stats are, but it's really high and really fast. It was the one that cracked, the support being cracked last summer, and it was like national news for like a day. Yeah. So the last time I rode that, I was on the front row with my 10-year-old. I think she might have been 9 at the time, and some of the older kids. I did the classic pass out, wake back up screaming, pass out. You've seen the videos. I was that guy. I was like, all right, never again. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I will be waiting at the bottom, but I'm not doing the whole pass out. Waking up, my youngest was like, no potty words. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, you woke up going, shit. I was like, yeah, I was out cold. So yeah, funny. That was the extent of my roller coaster career. I mean, it's over.
Certain stresses on your body can cause that to happen. It's not a personal flaw. It's a physical thing that happens. I don't know, man. I'm close to Cedar Point. Well, I say close. I'm relatively close to Cedar Point. It's like a 5-hour drive, but Kings Island though is a theme park in Ohio that is like an hour drive from where the art protest was.
I have Six Flags Over Texas.
Oh yeah. You guys got a good one too.
Oh yeah.
Cedar Point though is if you can ever go to Cedar Point, go. It is awesome. It's a lot of fun. They have some of the biggest roller coasters, fastest roller coasters, steepest roller coasters, and just badass roller coasters in the world at Cedar Point, and other places do too. Don't get me wrong. Places have their attractions.
I mean, I would be down to get back on one, but I'm not riding the Fury again. Fury 325, by the way, it is 95 miles an hour, 325 feet up, and I was on the front row. And I just felt it. I felt the crinklies coming in the side of your eyes, and the hearing started going. And then I don't remember most of the ride after that. So
yeah, there was like 2 indoor water parks right down the road from where we were. Yeah,
I still hold Texas has the best water park ever.
Doesn't Texas have a big famous water park?
We have the original Schlitterbahn.
Yeah, that place.
The original one.
Yeah.
Because it's actually split into 2, or actually 3. So 2 of the parks have the typical like chlorinated water. One of them is all from the river. And then you can go down to the lazy river and do that thing, and then go floating down the river for like 2 miles. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, see, when I was down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, there was people that would just like put an inner tube in like this creek that was by the RV park. And they would like ride that son of a bitch for dozens of miles, like an all day thing. And that was like a thing down there. And I thought that was some crazy shit that people were doing that, like, because that ended up going out into like a river or some shit. And you go down the river, and they got out somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not, but I assumed that was the plan. I don't think it was, a personal harm thing. I don't think they were crazy. I think it was like something people were doing, is what I'm saying. Like, way to go with words. But anyway, so tomorrow, what is there a time that you're releasing this video?
It's still on the timeline. We have some editing to do. It'll probably be later. Unless something crazy happens, I am going to be doing my first live stream, late night live stream. I'm calling it Apostate Assembly. We're just going to basically do what Brentley does. You'll probably watch some content. Tomorrow's going to be Greg Locke. We're just going to watch through some of his stuff, and I'm going to talk. So I would say later tomorrow, but just keep an eye out on mine and Lil's channel.
There.
What?
Lil will be there.
Yeah, Lil will be there. Candle to Chaos, and then you've got other stuff you're working on. So I did a video that had Greg Locke in it. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah,
I had clips of him destroying a Barbie house with a baseball bat with a Bible tape.
Yeah, Bible tape to it.
Yeah.
It's an Easton ball bat.
Yeah.
Dude is wild.
That was
unhinged.
Like, it's entertainment to some extent, until you get to the point that you see what these people are actually promoting and doing in people's personal lives. That's where the problem is. It's fun to laugh at some of the stupid things. And, I was kind of, for the video, I was kind of taking him serious at his word. I assume that the things that you're telling me you believe are the things that you believe. So, and that the actions that you take are in pursuit of those beliefs. So
yes.
That's kind of how I looked at it. But I'm pretty sure I probably still called him an asshat or a dildo or something along the way.
Well, he is those things, but no. I was actually going to touch on that. He does genuinely believe what he's saying. And Greg Locke is charismatic. He's entertaining. He's funny. If he wasn't so harmful, the reason I cover him is because his beliefs and the way he thinks and the way he interprets scripture and politics and all that is a carbon copy of my ex-father-in-law, who was just a little more reserved and toned down in the rhetoric. And in the delivery, I guess, more so than the actual rhetoric. He was more sly.
Steven Anderson lot.
Yeah, but he's also really, really unhinged. No,
he's crazy.
It was just less abrasive. But I cover Greg Locke because his playbook is pretty much a mirror copy of my ex-father-in-law's playbook, and so it's interesting to me from my perspective to look at his behavior and to look at the way he implements control, because it's just like, yep, this is exactly what I experienced. So that's going to be a good time.
Also, I tend to come up with very creative insults. It will be fun.
Nice. Yes, she's got an uncanny ability to mix profanities and other just raunchy words together. It's quite the sight to behold.
My current favorite is Orange Shit Gibbon.
Oh,
she's been on that one hard for our dear leader.
We're back to the Trailer Park Boys now with the shit given, the shit jokes. Leahy, the drunk trailer park supervisor, is always using these like analogies. The winds of shit are blowing. What we have here are a couple shit birds. It's always some kind of addition with shit, and so that's the joke there for the uninitiated. Yeah. So anyway, go check out their show whenever it gets released tomorrow, and whatever. I'm glad to. I did put a thing in for Seth that does work now, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you. Me and Lil are also usually on Dr. Ben's stream on Friday nights doing trivia. If you want to come hang out over there, it's a great time. I've got an interview series that I'm getting with some people on, and I know Lil is kicking some ideas around in her head about some content too. So
yeah.
Sub us both and stay tuned, because subbing is loving and sharing is caring.
Yeah, and let me put Lil's in there too. for the people that are on my channel. So yeah, if you guys like the video or whatever, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, it'd be cool if you subscribed. Making those numbers go up strokes my ego and just makes me more blatantly dumb about things, I think. The more viewers,
that's why you have me here.
The more viewers I get, the more unhinged the show becomes. So please contribute to my made up world. Or don't. Fuck you. I don't care.
Oh man, this is why we love Joe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tried.